Hi, it's Tricia. I am doing a book review on this book. It's called Archetypes-Who Are You? It's written by Carolyn Myss, M-Y-S-S. I've always been kind of fascinated by archetypes and always lured into the, fairy tales and the superhero stories and all. But each one of us have archetype characteristics, and we need to discover those to find our strengths and our weaknesses, to know how to work with that. In this book, she lists 10 primary archetypes in today's society. I'm going to read you the list. See if you just, at first hand, which type you think you are. The first one is Caregiver. Number 2, Artist Creative. The third, Fashionista. 4th, Intellectual. 5, the Rebel. 6, the Queen/Executive. 7, the Advocate. 8, the Visionary. 9, the Athlete, and 10, the Spiritual Seeker. Now you can go online and go through a test that she gives, answering questions, to determine what archetype you are. And I did that because I love tests like that, personality tests, and but I was just really curious because I think I know, but I want to know for sure. And so I answered the questions, and of course I want to be the visionary and the spiritual seeker, and there were little bits of that in me, but my primary archetype is caregiver. Duh. Everybody in my family will say, all my friends will say, duh. I've been a caregiver all my life. I've had 4 kids. I came from a big family. So when you go through each chapter for each of those 10 different types of archetypes, she gives a synopsis at the beginning of the main points about this archetype and what family it is and other expressions. For instance, for a caregiver, other expressions of this archetype would be a nurturer, a mother, a lover, a sister, a teacher, a rescuer. Been all of them? Yes. You feel like your life journey is to care for others in ways that they cannot care for themselves. Oh, hell yes. I have to laugh at myself because it just pegs me so correctly. It's right there. So she goes through, what's your unique challenge? What's the universal lesson? What's your defining grace? What is the inner shadow for a caregiver? What is that lurks in the background that can be detrimental to you? She gives the characteristics of the male counterpart of a caregiver, and the myths of the caregiver. This is true. If I don't help others, they'll think I'm selfish. I have to help people or they won't survive. She goes through the behavior patterns and the characteristics of a caregiver, and then she gives the lifestyle challenge, which is to care enough about yourself to find out who you really are. One thing about, as I read through the chapter on the caregiver, because I wanted to delve into that a little bit more, to understand myself more, and she talked about one of the shadow types of the caregiver is an enabler. Bam, right between the eyes for me. My daughter is recovering from a heroin addiction of 7 years, and I was a full-fledged enabler for those 7 years. Couldn't see it. I don't know if any of you have been through anything like that. I'm pretty sure there's some of you who have. And I try to explain to people that a mother's heart just can't see the truth. It only sees love. But I've learned a lot about how detrimental my enabling was to her. And as part of the caregiver archetype, you have to learn to set boundaries. You have to learn when to say no, even though your heart's saying yes. This book has helped me tremendously. It's helped me with my own personal journey, but it's also helped me in writing and trying to get a message across to people, because people identify with archetypes, and if you can incorporate that into a blog post or an email that you're writing, then you can nail it. People understand archetypes. We understand superheroes. We understand fairy princesses. We understand wise men. We understand, So I, for one, understand the caregiver, and I hope this helps you. I hope you'll go out and pick up the book. It's a fascinating read, and it will make you stop and think, and especially take the test and find out what she has to say about your archetype. All right, that's the book, Archetypes-Who Are You by Carolyn Myss. I highly recommend it. Thanks.